it just means more top 2 teams. The SEC once again led the way in the initial set of 2017 College Football Playoff Selection Committee rankings that were released on Tuesday night. Both undefeated number 1 Georgia and number 2 Alabama were placed in the top 2 slots in the only poll that matters, followed by number 3 Notre Dame and number 4 Clemson to round out the first top 4 of the season. Close calls at many levels this week. That victory over Notre Dame tipped number 1 to Georgia, Bill Hancock at Boncock CFP October 31, 2017. Also notable, UCF debuting as the highest-ranked Group of 5 team and at a number 18 spot, somewhat higher than we typically see such teams checking at. Otherwise, the committee's top 25 was fairly similar to the AP poll, despite Mississippi State being 5 spots higher, Auburn the highest-ranked Wallace team 2 spots higher, and having Stanford 3 spots lower than the regular poll voters. The full CFP top 25 1. Georgia 2, Alabama 3, Notre Dame 4, Clemson 5, Oklahoma 6, Ohio State 7, Penn State 8, TCU 9, Wisconsin 10, Miami, Florida 11, Oklahoma State 12, Washington 13, Virginia Tech 14, Auburn 15, Iowa State 16, Mississippi State 17, USC 18, UCF 19, LSU 20, NC State 21, Stanford 22, Arizona 23, Memphis 24, Michigan State 25, Washington State. For those wondering, the initial set of selection committee rankings last year at this time featured a top 4 of Alabama, Clemson, Michigan and Texas A&M in that order. Eventual Fiesta Bowl pick and 3-seed Ohio State was slotted 6th in the same poll, while Washington was just outside the first group at number 5 in the rankings. And you can consider this case closed. Driving for a potential score late in the first half of Iowa's game against Minnesota Saturday, James Butler fumbled at the end of a 19-yard catch and run. While initially ruled down, that call was overturned by the instant replay official up in the booth and possession went over to the Gophers. That development didn't please Brian Ferentz, with the Cedar Rapids Gazette writing that the Hawkeyes offensive coordinator let out a string of expletives heard by most in the press box. Words too blue to reprint here at the replay official as the coaches left their coach's box. Kirk Ferentz, the Hawkeyes head coach and Brian's father, labeled his actions not acceptable and inappropriate. It was further confirmed that the younger Ferentz would be meeting with both their bosses, athletic director Gary Barta, to further discuss the situation. That meeting took place Wednesday afternoon. Both the coordinator and AD released statement, with the former apologizing for his unprofessional behavior while the latter stated he considers the incident resolved. I want to apologize to the members of the media and the replay officials for my unprofessional behavior during halftime of the Minnesota game Saturday night, Ferentz said in his statement. My language was inappropriate and behavior was wrong. There is no excuse for my actions. I regret the negative attention this has brought to the program and the UI athletic department. I have sent a letter of apology to the replay official and have assured our head coach and athletic director I will hold myself to a higher level of professionalism. I want to provide an update on actions taken following an incident that occurred during the Minnesota at Iowa football game involving one of our coaches, Barta's statement began. I have had conversations with head coach Kirk Ferentz and offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz regarding the inappropriate language and display of emotion by Brian Saturday evening. I have also been in contact and in coordination with the Big Ten throughout the process. My conversations have been productive and positive. We hold our administrative staff, coaches, and student athletes to a very high level of professionalism. I am confident Brian has a complete understanding that his behavior Saturday was unacceptable as a role model for our team and coaching staff, and as a representative of the University of Iowa, and that it cannot be repeated. We have completed our process and consider the incident resolved. The younger Ferentz is in his 6th season as a Hawkeyes assistant, and his first as coordinator. Tuesday, a report surfaced that indicated Tennessee's staff knowingly played a concussed player in the Kentucky, only pulling him when he was seen vomiting on the sideline. The allegations contained in the report were sufficient enough that it warranted a public response from UT's athletic director Wednesday morning, who laid out the football program's protocol for such situations but stopped short of saying the staff had adhered to them in this instance. On the SEC coaches teleconference Wednesday, embattled head coach Butch Jones vehemently denied he or anyone on his staff would knowingly put a player, in this case Vols offensive lineman Brett Kendrick, in such a situation. Butch, we would never knowingly put a student-athlete in harm's way. Wes Rucker at Wes Rucker 247 November 1, 2017. Butch making sure everyone knows he has no part in the decision-making process to remove injured players from the game. Wes Rucker at Wes Rucker 247 November 1, 2017 Butch, our training staff is always in dialogue with our players. Wes Rucker at Wes Rucker 247 November 1, 2017 Butch, I'm a father of 3. My sons play football. This is an important issue to me. Wes Rucker at Wes Rucker 247 November 1, 2017 There's already chatter that, given the tone of John Currie's statement, the university could use this situation as a means to rid themselves of Jones and his contract with Cause, thus avoiding a costly buyout. Either way, it appears that Jones stays atop Rocky Top are numbered, now seemingly only a matter of when, not if he's dismissed. There's a trio of words you don't see strung together very much, if at all, in a college football headline. According to the Corvallis Gazette-Times, Oregon State linebacker Manase Hungalu and another male, Abdinasser Ali Shido, were cited early Saturday morning by a Corvallis Police Department officer based on their violent, tumultuous and threatening behavior. From the Gazette-Times, a CPD officer was driving past Qdoba on Monroe Avenue and spotted a group of 10 to 12 males engaged in an argument on the sidewalk. The officer stopped and told the group to break up, but the situation escalated between Hungalu and Abdinasser Ali Shido. An OSU spokesperson told the Oregonian that Hungalu's status for the Week 10 game against Cal is uncertain, although he did practice with the rest of the team Tuesday. Hungalu currently leads the Beavers in tackles 61, pass breakups 4, quarterback hits 3 and interceptions 2. His 5 tackles for loss and 2.5 sacks are second on the team. What's this? A sliver of good news in Florida State's lost season. A little over a week ago, Jimbo Fisher acknowledged that Jacques Patrick sustained some type of cartilage damage in his knee in the October 21 loss to Louisville and would require surgery to repair the damage. It was thought at the time that the running back could miss an extended period of time. However, the Orlando Sentinel is reporting that Patrick could play in this Saturday's game against Syracuse after undergoing what was described as a minor knee procedure 8 days ago. From the Sentinel's report, Patrick's injury was not severe as initially feared. Doctors removed a stray bone fragment in his knee and did not need to fix any torn cartilage, which was Patrick's initial diagnosis, according to FSU coach Jimbo Fisher. Patrick is second on the team in rushing with 434 yards, behind true freshman Cam Akers' 496. His 5.7 yards per carry is easily the top total on the Seminoles. As a team, FSU's 3 rushing touchdowns on the season are 129th out of the 130 FBS teams, ahead of only San Jose State's 1.